Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you so much for your presentation. I think your teacher would have been very proud of you and of your work. And of course, Frankl's Search for Meaning is arguably one of the most important books in psychology in the 20th century. The matter of love. Monsignor Marcelo talked about Lucy earlier. This is the remains that were discovered by Coppens at the Collège de France. It's a member of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences. This is on the matter of love. This is so profound. This is so constitutive of the emergence of humanity. 1,000 hours of new film, documentary film, is shot on a very, very young Jane Goodall. Very young, when she first goes to Tanzania and sets up the research station for leaky. 1,000 new hours that were unknown were just released. There's a beautiful documentary on this. The point is that the stunning nature of the loving, these are our closest non-human primates, the chimps. The nature of the love and the ethic of care with which the mother raises the baby takes your breath away, because the new film is, they've adapted it, and you can see. So basically, this is extremely profound in all non-human primates. We are born of and we become in this love between the mother, fundamentally, and the child. Rocco, it's the great Donald Winnicott who wrote beautifully about the social mirror where the child and the mother or begin, in a way, the human journey for the baby. So this is very profound, the love. The point of love is very basic.
The next. Mariana. Yeah.
So more than a question, it's like I wanted to show my appreciation for my colleague because there's such a need to talk about relationships in psychology. And I couldn't emphasize enough, just echoing what you've said about the need for, if you are thinking of therapy services, more of couple and family therapy services, because those are the moments in which you really, as a human being, come to the full realization of how much not only we need others to give meaning to our lives, ourselves, but also to have limits to this so-called self-realization that we are living in, and unfortunately, and it's been sort of like encouraged in so many ways in today's society, from the media, the movies, the tremendous individualistic principles that, at least I live in the United States, have flooded so many areas of our lives. So I just wanted to thank you for emphasizing this. Yeah.
Thank you, and please respond to the first two questions.
Well, these questions, I would really like to thank you. I mean, about the point of love, and to see it also in the animal kingdom, which I found enormously reassuring. Yeah, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't say that there's a certain voluntary aspect in how humans love humans, and that I found. That's why I mentioned, even in cases where the biological parents are no longer around, yeah, when they're dead, then somebody must have decided, yes, you are worthwhile, you are a promise. I carry the love your parents wanted to carry for you. I'm not so sure, but I simply don't know, yeah, whether this is also realized to such an extent in the animal kingdom. I don't know. Maybe you know, but yes, right. Ah, okay. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. The love is fundamental, but as you noted, I even apologized in the beginning because if you go to a conference of colleagues and you talk about love in such in a basic existential, not only bodily, love as you also use it, yeah, I think it's a new concept for psychology. You see, it's not a new concept for humanity, but for psychology, it is a new concept. And at the end, if I had come to the end, I would have shown a slide by Alan Burscheit, who's a very famous social psychologist, saying it is time, written in 2000, it is time that psychology discovers not only egotism, but love, benevolence. Yeah, and benevolence is also very important because you can't, and that's also why I said in the beginning, don't make it over competitive. If we make a case for the family, you can't intend to love. The outcome is only pressure. But benevolence means I wish you well, and this you can want. You see, this you can force yourself to want a good thing for the other person, and that alone would be a recipe which could heal many, many families. Yeah.
Or have you already replied to that?
Science.
Very good. And I very much like what you say about benevolence, and I'm going to come back to that in my talk tomorrow in a very different context. But Marcelo?
We don't have time, so it's better to go to the general discussion. I put the question in the general discussion.